Hey, Distaggio, now covering Minecraft, and I'm going to go ahead and create a world here. We're going to be playing survival for a huge video series that's going to basically be released daily for the entire month of January, starting today, January 4th, where I did a funny sound block video helping me pick my intro song, which of course is one I didn't actually use today, but I will later. And hey, I spawned right next to some pigs. You might as well grab those, get some meat, get some pork chops, and get ready to go. Then take that pork chop and beat down the nearest tree. No, you can use your hand and you can just punch it if there weren't any pigs right next door, obviously. And so then look up, you can normally get a whole entire tree, unless it happens to be a very tall one, but normally you can get a whole entire tree from the bottom. I prefer oak, but if you got birch tree next to you, which is of course the white one, then go ahead and do that. Once you got some wood, go ahead and grab some birch planks, use those birch planks, and we are going to build a crafting table, and then we're going to start crafting. Minecraft, two things you can do, two primary activities, of course, one being mining, the other being crafting. Here we're going to craft some wooden sticks using those boards or planks that we just got, and then we're going to put two sticks down, and then we're going to form the shape of an axe with the wood. That then gets us a wooden tool, a wooden axe. So now we can beat things with a pork chop, or more effectively beat a tree with a wooden axe. First thing I'm going to do is take out this crafting table. I'm not going to be building any sort of base here. Look at what I found right here. I found some sort of abandoned mine shaft. If you hear this sort of humming of a train or an engine or something, and you're kind of in the middle of nowhere, look around. You're probably above an abandoned mine shaft, and if you go down it, there's always a lot of experience by taking out baddies, monsters, creeps, whatever you'd like to call them. It's also a good place to die if you're fairly new off without any proper tools. So we're not going to go down into that abandoned mine shaft right now, but we will keep that in mind for the future when we do build our base or our home or our hut in the woods. So I'm just going to run around. I'm kind of just exploring now. I have enough wood to make kind of what I need to make. I'm really just kind of looking for home. I'm looking for a sheep, to be honest. Sheep. Bah, we want sheep. We want wool. If you get 3 wool, you can make a bed. That way you can skip night. Whenever you have a bed, you can skip night, which is when all the monsters come out. And I am a big baby girl, and so I like to sleep often in the early days. But you know what? I found a lot of cows, a lot of pigs, no sheep. In fact, this same game, it's kind of got a sheep shortage, wool shortage. So we're going to breed some animals later. We're going to show you the whole game, how to survive. Basically, this video, though, is going to be kind of a long one. All these videos are going to be at least 10 minutes long, closer to 15 minutes on average per video. And what we're going to do is teach you how to survive day one, okay? How to survive day one. What a lot of people do when they start the game is they just dig down. They look down and dig a hole and put some blocks above them and cover themselves with dirt. They bury themselves essentially and hide. And that is not a very good strategy. However, it is a strategy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run into this sort of what I'm guessing is to be a part of that abandoned mine shaft system, underworld system. We're going to drop down the crafting table so that we can build a pickaxe, wooden pickaxe. So that uses 3 wood up top, 2 sticks down below, just like a pickaxe looks like. And I normally always have pickaxe in my number 2. In my number 1, I would normally have a sword, but right now I just didn't want to spend the time to craft up a sword. What eventually we want to do, one of your goals, if you will, of day 1 or night 1. In my case, I don't have a bed, so I'm going to be looking for things to do at night that does not involve sleeping, because I will not be able to sleep. So I'm in the dark right here, but what I'm doing is I'm actually picking away. I'm picking away at charcoal. It was kind of hard to see that, but there was charcoal in there. What coal gets you is torches. That allows you to light things up. And the reason why you want to light things up is because monsters don't spawn where there's light, and I certainly don't want them to spawn next to me in my makeshift sort of, I don't know, house in a cave. So I got a house nestled in a cave here. I don't really want to go exploring too far. What is nice about this formation here is that bad guys can't, even if there were bad guys down there, they couldn't climb up that steep rock face right there, I don't think. And there's no way they could really get to me, but I do like to seal these off, right? So I'm going to go down there, and that's going to enable me to seal it off here. And you just point at the nearest block and pick away at it with your left button. And by the way, you can always bring things down from your inventory down to the crafting box that you're looking at by holding shift. That brings the whole stack of things, but for right now we're just going to basically whack away at stuff. And if you ever do whack a block that has a torch on it, well, all that happens is the torch falls to the ground and you can run and grab it. So that's not anything to really worry about. I'm looking for charcoal right there. I know there's probably monsters all around down there, and so I'm being a little bit risky right here. But again, one of those two tools that I happen to have in my number 1, 2, and 4, I'm playing on the computer, those do make a makeshift weapon, so I can whack things if they run up to me. But right now I'm just basically going to use some of this stone that I mined up, and I'm just going to seal off this tube. Again, it's a little bit dark, but after you play this game for a while, you kind of get used to sort of playing in the dark, because you don't want to always use all your torches on everything. But obviously I do want to use some of my torches to light up that space down there while I work on sealing it off here. But what I quickly realized is that, you know what, I could seal all that off there, but for right now, since it's still kind of midday, I decided to go looking for sheep and maybe find a little bit better place. So normally I would probably just stay there, but because I kind of wanted to show you a couple other aspects of the game in the first video, let's go on a little mini adventure here. And we're probably going to get stuck out in the middle of nowhere at night, and that's most likely what's going to happen to you on day 1. So let's try to replicate that, okay? See all these pigs, guys? Lots of pigs. Lots of pigs and no sheep. Okay, snow, pigs. I got some islands over there. I got some more charcoal down there. If you just saw it, that block with the black in it, that's coal. You mine that, you get charcoal or coal, which you use for torches. So it is very helpful. It's very nice to be in an area where you do see coal on your first day, because that makes it very, very, very easy for you to build torches. Otherwise you have to burn wood. Okay, so if you didn't have any coal by you, you could simply burn wood, raw wood, in an oven. And when you use wood to cook wood in an oven, you get a byproduct of coal, which you can then use 1 coal to build 4 torches. Takes a long time. It's much easier to just go mine 10 coal and make 40 torches in, just the same amount of time. Now, what I'm doing right here and demonstrating a beacon, essentially. I do like to use wood for my beacons. I know it's sort of like, why waste your wood that you're doing? Well, it's like it's that, or I'm going to waste my stone, and I need to make a set of stone tools. I don't know. I just like to use the wood there because it doesn't blend in with the surroundings. That's probably the best reason to describe why I used wood. So now if I'm looking at this mountain from anywhere on the ground way below and I'm trying to reorient myself, well, all I need to do is look for that little mini beacon I just built there at the top of that hill. So that way if I do get lost and turn around, at least I know sort of down below that beacon is where I sort of have a makeshift base. But see the sun right there, by the way? The sun right there is right above the horizon, rises in the east, sets in the west, and you can see it is headed down. It is headed down, it's setting. That means in about a minute it's going to be dark out, and I'm going to need to find a place to hide for the night. Hide out for the night. That's right here, right when I got to the edge here, I noticed there were no sheep. I do have a source of lava right here. We can use lava to get obsidian later and a couple other things. So that's good to know. I feel like I'm in actually kind of a good location. I feel like this is decent. I mean, it's not terrible. I'm not in the middle of a big flat land. I'm not in the desert. I'm not at the top of a mountain. Well, I guess I am sort of at the top of a mountain, but not at the top of the highest peak here. I'm going to grab this coal real quick, and that should get me enough torches. As you can see, it's starting to get dark. What happens when it gets dark in Minecraft? Every day is 10 minutes, every night is 10 minutes. That's how it's condensed down to it. And you know what? I come back into here and I'm like, hey, you know what? I could keep running, I could keep searching, but you know what? It's too hard to find where I'm going right now. It's too dark out. And you can see I'm looking around. I'm looking for my little cave there. I couldn't find my main cave. My man cave. my dirty cave. So it's getting so dark right now. Monsters are going to start coming out. They're going to start whacking me, running up to me, exploding, etc., etc. And well, so really what I need to do is find the nearest wall and dig in. So this is sort of equivalent to finding dirt, digging down and putting a block above you, burying yourself essentially, but this is a little bit different in that I have a little mini cave here. So it's pretty easy though. Pretty easy if you're next to rock face to sort of come up with a shelter. You just need to dig in a few cubes, and then you just need to seal those cubes with a door of some sort, close it up, and then since we don't have a bed, right? So here I just dug in, put a torch at the end, and put 2 blocks in. There, we are protected. We are essentially good to go. I don't like dirt being near the entrance there. It just panics me that it's going to start raining and my dirt's going to disappear. I don't know. I don't know why I get panicked about things like that. But I do like all my walls and stuff to be stone, so I do tend to dig out that dirt and replace it with cobblestone or something. So here I'm going to grab some torches. It's just 1 stick and 1 coal above it. And you can build torches without a crafting table too. You can build them in your regular e-inventory because you do have 4 slots to craft in, and it only takes 2 slots to build a torch. So here I'm going to put some wood in the crafting table and then turn it into planks, and then turn the planks into sticks. And then I'm going to take all those sticks, divide them up there. So I got 20 each. But if I put just 2 stone or 3 stone and do a shift click, it brings all 3. It only could build 3 stone pickaxes then to my inventory. So that's kind of one goal that you want to do on your night 1 is go ahead and craft up a full set of stone tools. For sure, like a stone sword, stone pickaxe. I'd say more like 3 stone pickaxes. That's the one you're going to use the most, as we're going to kind of dig around, mine for coal and other materials here. If you do stack up 6 wood planks, that'll get you a birch door. I kind of hate birch doors because you can't see through them. I much prefer oak doors because they have a window that you can look through so you can tell when it's light out again. But I didn't have any oak wood there. I use oak wood on other things, so I only had the birch door, which is fine. We can live with a birch door. That's no big deal. Of course, grab your stone pickaxe before you start picking, right? And if we had a shovel here, we'd be going a lot faster on the dirt here. But hey, I didn't have time to build a shovel, and dirt's pretty weak. It only takes a few hits, even if you're using the inappropriate tool. Although you do always want to be using the appropriate tool. In which case there would be a shovel, which is stick something. So stick wood would be a wooden shovel, stick stone would be a stone shovel, etc. And there, I'm secured. I'm good to go for my first night. I could just hang out right here and do nothing. I could walk away from the computer for like 5 more minutes and come back and go outside and it'd be light out. Or what I like to do is just we need stone because we need to build more stone tools. And so we might as well make this area bigger by expanding it by taking out the stone. And you can also go 3 high if you want. I'm only 2 blocks high right now at this point. You could easily go 3 if you wanted more stone, but I just kind of like to start with 2, and then if we're going to stay here a while, then we will. But again, I kind of like that other cave because it's right at the entrance of that abandoned mineshaft, and there's always a lot of interesting things in an abandoned mineshaft. But for right now, we will simply expand open this little shelter area that we've created, and we will build a proper house in the future. But for right now, this should get us going. This should allow us to survive for the first night in style. Of course, no bed, but again, you need wool, so you gotta run around and find some sheep if you want to have a bed. And then if you did have a bed and you dropped it down using 3 wool and 3, I want to say it's 3 sticks, or it could be 3 wood, then you can click on it and sleep through the whole night, and then you'll wake up and you will be at daylight, which is where the next video will start off right here. As always, keep it dirty and dirty up.